Hello everyone, my name is Purabi Jana and I am doing BBA from Techno India University, and this is our statistic group presentation. We have three members in our group, me, Purabi Jana and Sneha MONDAL. And today's topic is mean, median and mode. So, introduction to measure of central tendency. In data analysis, measure of central tendency, important statistical tools that helps us to understand the typical or central value in dataset. The three primary measure of central tendency are mean, median and mode. The next is what is mean. The mean is a measure of central tendency that calculate the average value of dataset. Next is calculating the mean. The first step is gather the data. The first in calculating all the numbers and measure or any other information want to analyze. Step 2. After have the data, add all the individual values and the total dataset which is essential components of the mean calculation. Step 3. To calculate the mean, takes the total sum of the data and divided by the total number of data points and the average values which represent the central tendency of the dataset. So the next part will discuss Sneha Mondal.
My name is Sneha Mondal and now discuss about the median. The median is a measure of central tendency that represents the median value in a sorted set of numbers. The find of median arrange the data in numerical order. If there is an odd number of values, the median is the middle of one. If even it is the average of the middle values. The median is less affected by outliers than with the median, providing a more of central tendency in a data sheet. Next part, calculating the median. Number 1, arrange the data. Order the data points from smallest to largest. Number 2, identify the middle value. For an odd number of data points, the median is the middle value. For an even number, it is the average of the two middle values. Number 3, calculate the median. Use the identified middle values to determine the median if even average the two middle numbers. Next part, mode. The mode is the value that appears most frequently in a data sheet, indicating the most common of typical value. To find the mode, count the frequency to each value and identify the ones with the highest occurrence. For example, in the data sheet 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 2, 3. The mode is the 2 as it appears 3 times. That mode is particularly useful for understanding prevalent outcomes in multi-model distribution. And now, the next part is continue our team Purabi Jana.
My name is Purabi Jana and now my point is comparing mean, median and mode. Mean. The mean is the sum of all the values divided by the total numbers of values. It is useful for getting an overall sense of the central tendency in a dataset. But it can be skewed but outliers or extreme values. Median. The median is the middle value when the data is arranged in orders. It is less affected by outliers than the mean and can provide a more robust measure of central tendency, especially for skewed disturbance. Mode. The mode is the value that appears most frequently in the dataset. It is helpful for identifying the most common or typical value and can be useful for understanding the distribution of the data. Comparison. Each measure of central tendency provides different insights about the data. The mean gives an overview of the typical value, and the median represents the middle value, and the mode identifies the most common value. Considering all of three measures can provide a more comprehensive understanding of the dataset. Strengths and weakness of each measure. Strength of mean. The mean is a useful measure because it takes into account all data points and provides an average values that represents the central tendency of the dataset. It is commonly used and easy to understand, making it a go-to statistics for many data analysis. Weakness of mean. The mean can be heavily influenced by outliers or extreme values in the dataset, which can skew the average and make it less representative of the overall distribution. This is particularly problematic for dataset with a large spread of a heavily skewed data. And now, strength of median. The median is less affected by outliers than the mean, making it a more robust measure of central tendency. It divides the dataset in half, providing a value that represents the middle point and is not influenced extreme values. Weakness of median. While the median is more resistant to outliers, it does not take into account the actual values of the data points. It only considers the order of the values, which can result in a loss of information about the overall distribution of the dataset. And now, conclusion and key takeaways. In this presentation, we have explored the core concepts of mean, median, and mode, the three primary measures of central tendency used in statistics. By understanding the strengths and weaknesses of each metric, we can select the most appropriate one to analyze and interpret data, depending on the context and goals of our analysis.
This is our group presentation. Thank you.